One, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name. And hang on to your hats because it's time for liftoff.
T-minus 10, 9,
Come on,
8,
baby.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Let's do this.
2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready.
That's it.
Hold on to your hats.
Strap on your
seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats.
Get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no. It's show with no name time.
Where?
On Vaughn Radio.
Oh, Vaughn Radio.
It's the show with no name.
Come on. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Show with no name. Show with no name. Welcome, Show with No Namers from around the world, wherever you're tuning in from. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here with us today and every day. Ready to rock, ready to have some fun, ready to laugh, ready to learn, and hang out, quedar con our amigos, our buddies, our pals. For the next 2 hours, you can let your hair down, kick your feet up, and get ready to have some fun, to immerse yourself in an interactive English experience. It's the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And right before today's show, you've got the master himself every day. It's the greatest way to warm up for this show. It's No Excuses, and it's hosted by my buddy Fitz. The master, the guy who trained every single Vaughn teacher. The man who Richard has entrusted to teach his many minions. Okay, no somos minions, pero bueno. Era para el doble M. All right, folks. Well, check out our website if you want classes with a Vaughn teacher. It's grupovaughn.com. grupovaughn.com. Also, make sure you're following us on social media, and this way you are in the know. Estáis enterados. Siempre me lío con esa. Enterado o enterrado. Very, very different. Well, then you would know all about what's going on with our Vaughn groups. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, folks. Find out more at our website, grupovaughn.com. If you're looking for materials, it's vaughntienda.com. And right now it's time for Question of the Week. question of the week. That's right, folks. Question of the week, our weekly section that we do every Friday here on the show with No Name. And I'll tell you what, you guys have been doing such a wonderful job. I got to be honest. It's really nice to get to know you, too. Not just as English speakers, but also to get to know you as people. So send us a 1-minute voice message. You can send it to my email address. In fact, that's the only place you can send it. Alonso, no dots, no, there's nothing. It's double A. So Alonso at, arroba, muy importante, no es arrobation, at grupovon.com. And there you can send me that 1-minute audio note. Introduce yourself. Hey, guys, it's David. Hey, it's Salva. Just checking in to say, hey, and my biggest role model is, and that's it. And get into it. Tell us, right? So we want to know this week who your biggest role model is, and more importantly, why that person is your biggest role model. So I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. And I've already got my answer prepared as well. And speaking of answers and questions and things like that, folks, it's officially right around the corner. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Hey, Lara, do you have any plans for November 1st?
Hey, Daddy. Yeah, it's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, baby.
Where is it taking place?
It's at Real Madrid.
What time does it start?
It's at 8:30. Get there at 8.
And who's hosting this time?
Seriously? Come on, Daddy. It's your turn.
Thank God my daughter isn't as forgetful as I am. I'm going to jot it down this time. And so should you. We'll see you for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at Roll Madrid, hosted by yours truly, un servidor. I'll see you November 1st at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid for another exciting Vaughn Radio Trivia Night.
Be there or be square, amigos.
That's right, amigos. Be there or be square. And since it's Halloween, it's going to be a horror-themed trivia night. So don't miss it, because it's going to be tons of fun, amigos. And if you like trivia, then you're going to love today's pop quiz. Come on. Let's go. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our pop quiz examen sorpresa here on the show with No Name. And as always, I'm going to pluck it out of something, content from one of our posts or from one of our books. And today we've got Conversaciones en Inglés 2. If you have the book, grab it. If not, you don't need it. I mean, you can always pick it up over at vaughntienda.com. But for today's exercise, you don't need it. Not at all. All right. So today we're going to look at bad news. Hey, guys, it's Halloween. I figured we could look at some bad news. I hope you don't get any bad news today. But I figured it's good to know how to talk about this stuff because you got to be diplomatic when we're giving bad news or hearing bad news. it's really important that we use the right words. So that's what's great about this material, Conversaciones en Inglés 2. I mean, there are 3 of them. This is the intermediate level. You've got Richard Vaughn and yours truly, un servidor, here on the cover. And so this book has so many different situations that you could come across. For example, basketball, the burger, dyeing my hair, teñiéndome el pelo, downloading music, the end of the world. What else? Looking great, swapping shifts, cambiando de turno. So it really has a little bit of everything in here, and it is chock full of idiomatic expressions and little mini lessons. Again, it's called Conversaciones en Inglés 2, and you can pick it up along with many other amazing materials, especially if you're looking for some Christmas presents for your fellow classmates over here. You can't go wrong at the Vaughn Tienda. Also, remember my latest book. If you haven't picked it up, it's a hit. People love it. It's called This Book is the Shit, also available at the Vaughn Tienda. All right, so what do I want you guys to do? Well, I want you to pay attention now because I'm going to play an audio clip from this book, Conversaciones en Inglés. Now, if you have the book, it is page 162. If you have the book, it's page 162. If not, you don't really need the text. In fact, I prefer if you don't if you don't look at the text and you just listen to the audio clip. So listen, and then afterwards, I have a mission for you guys. So is everybody ready? All right, here is your audio clip for today's pop quiz.
Son, here's a little something for all your hard work.
£20. Thanks, Mum. You shouldn't have. Really?
No. You've been studying very hard recently. You finally got your act together. I'm so happy with you. All I've ever wanted was for you to have a bright future.
Mum, there's something I need to tell you.
Seriously, son. I know I pest you a lot, but I'm feeling really proud of you at the moment. You've been spending a lot of time in your room recently studying and revising for your exams. Do you know, I'm getting goosebumps on my arms just thinking about how well you're doing. Hand me a tissue. I'm getting emotional.
Mum, there's something...
I've told your Aunt Nora. I've told your Aunt Betty. I've told your Uncle Cliff. I've even told the family that runs the shop over the road about you. I'm just so proud of you. You know what? I might even tell the local newspaper. They love hearing inspirational stories where youth turn their lives around.
Mum, how can I say this?
Say what, son? Maybe 20 isn't enough. I'll speak to your dad. He'll be willing to match my 20. You certainly deserve it.
That's not necessary, Mum.
Oh, there's no need to be modest. You know, the head of your school used to call every week concerned about your progress, and I haven't heard from her for weeks. I bet she's delighted with you too.
Well, there's a reason for her not calling you, Mum.
I know, son, and I'm trying to show you how pleased I am. I guess your GCSE results will be out soon. I'm sure that all that studying you've been doing has made a difference.
Mum, listen to me. I've got some bad news.
Bad news? What's the matter? You haven't got anyone pregnant, have you?
No, but...
Well, spit it out, son. We don't have all day.
I quit school a few months ago. I was sick of it. Mum, say something. Speak to me.
Get to your room. I'm calling the school.
Oh my goodness. Well, I got to tell you something. That wasn't even easy for me to follow, which is great. That just proves that our Vaughn materials have all kinds of accents. And that was all very British. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what area it was from, but I know many people who speak like that. So you got to understand everybody out there. I mean, unless you just want to make friends in one area of the world or do business in one area of the world, it's good to understand all kinds of accents and As you know, in Australia, they even use different words than us in many cases. Well, think about how far away they are, right? They say sunnies. I love that word. Para gafas de sol dicen sunnies. We call them shades. They're sunglasses. But they call them sunnies and we call them shades. Es el inverso. Los que te dan sol, sunnies, soleados, and we call them shades porque te dan sombra. See, you can tell we're breathing different air. We're drinking different water. But we are supposedly speaking the same language, which is English. All right, let's see who's on board Show with No Namers. I've got a lot of people here in our group checking in and ready to participate. All right, now, also, let me give you your challenge. I almost forgot. I'm going to ask you for 3 different expressions, collocations that you heard in this audio I just played for you. They're straight out of the book, Conversaciones en Inglés 2, which you can also get part 1 and part 3. I would get all 3 of them. It's a collection. Start with 1. If it's too easy for you, move on. But again, even the beginner one has some really, really good, juicy idiomatic expressions that are really good to know. All right, so the first one, and I want you to give me all 3 of these. You can give me 3 different sentences. They don't have to be related, but give me them in full sentences and use them in a context where you would normally use them. All right? The first one that they said was, por fin te has puesto las pilas. So the mom says, no. You've been studying very hard recently. I'm going to try and imitate it, okay? No. You've been studying very hard recently. Ba, 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 ba. Esa es la frase que queremos. Por fin te has puesto las pilas. Bueno, no hay que decir por fin. Ponerse las pilas is what we're looking for as part 1. The next one is piel de gallina. I want you to, it's a great one for Halloween, isn't it? Piel de gallina. You got to use it in context. Again, preferably, think of the last time it happened to you. Then you're using a real example. And the last one. The last one is me imagino o supongo. Me imagino. And you can't use I imagine or I suppose. Uy. All right, folks, let's see if you know these 3 idiomatic expressions I've just plucked from Conversaciones en Inglés 2, available at Von Tienda. Let's see, Salva's in the house. What's up, Salva? How's it going, buddy? Great to have you with us, as always. Looking forward to receiving your participation in Question of the Week. David, we missed you. The other day, I was like, where's David? I'm waiting for his comment, before the class even begins. David, great to have you with us. Good morning, Alberto and mates, he says. Born to Iron Man. Morning, amigos. What's up, Born to Iron Man? We can officially kick off. No doubt about it. Let's see. Kubla, he says, 1. Sup, fantastic ladies and gents. And then where's 2? ¿Dónde está el 2? So wait, all right. So 1. Sup, fantastic ladies and gents. If I lose my train of thought, I don't think I'll get lost in the coop, for I'll try to stay in the loop as long as I'm not caught. All right. Nice job, Kubla, with a little poetry to kick off the show. He also says, it never fails to draw a smile on my face when I listen to Lara. Oh, yeah. Same happens to me. As I was telling my wife this morning, this kid cracks me up daily. Me parto con esta tía a diario. Oh, and by the way, I'm working on a new section, and she's going to be in it. I'll keep you posted, but it's in the works. Estamos en ello. Estamos trabajando en ello. A new section with Lara. So stay tuned. Lots of surprises in the coming year, because as you know, 2023 is almost fucking over. What? Yeah. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Who else is in the house? Leo. Leo says, Leo, congrats on your Ballon d'Or. Wow, 8. Hey, well-deserved. Well-deserved. Ok, quizá esté un poco desordenado. El tío. Messy? Okay, olvídalo. Bad joke. Leo says, hello, friends. Alberto, although your trivia night coincides with my brother-in-law's birthday, I will be there at Roll Madrid, even if I miss the opportunity to see my mother-in-law. So sad. Yeah. I notice a little bit of sarcasm in there. Y se dice que no se lee eso en texto. Pues yo lo he leído, Leo. I got the sarcasm there. Well, Leo, I'm so glad you're going to make it, buddy. It'll be great to see you. And I'm sure Chris and other people who are going to be there are going to be happy to see your smiling face, buddy. Let's see. Kubla says, whenever my mom brandished a slipper in her hand, I scurried to get my act together as soon as possible. So, to brandish is a very, very formal way. It's okay, Kubla, but no one would. I mean, if you want to write a novel, yes. But in normal conversation, forzado. But it's a great word. You get what I'm saying? You have great vocabulary. Just be careful. You don't want to sound like a robot or too, formal, like it's an AI, inteligencia artificial. I always know when I'm reading something that was written by AI, right? Now, I don't think your comments are written by AI. I'm not saying that. But a great word nonetheless. Whenever my mom brandished a slipper in her hand, los alpargates, oh, my grandma, I scurried, and that's to run, to get my act together as soon as possible. So the first one, to get your act together. You better get your act together, young man. Ponte las pilas. We don't say put in your batteries. And then he said, subsequently, I got goosebumps. Muy bien. Piel de gallina, nosotros decimos de ganso. Goosebumps. And the third one, I reckon she was right, because I was as rambunctious as a wild Indian. And great job. I reckon. I guess. I suppose. I reckon. Great job. Great job. All right, let's see. Who else? Daniela is participating. She says, I didn't join in time to hear the audio, but off the top of my head, I'll take a stab at it. Daniela? Doble. Off the top of my head, bote pronto, what do you say? And to take a stab at it, intentarlo. You'd better pull up your socks if you want to pass the exam. Yeah, pull up your socks. Roll up your sleeves. Kubla said, get your act together. You can also say, get your shit together. You better get your shit together. You better get your act together. But also, más fácil aún, you better get it together. Es otra forma de decirlo. Y mi favorito, you better shape up. Ponte las pilas, le está diciendo la canción de Grease. You better shape up, because I need a man. Great. Learning from music. Great job, Daniela. Number 2, she says, this song gives me the goosebumps. And normally we would say without the. This song gives me goosebumps. Great job. And 3, I reckon I might be wrong since I didn't get the beginning. No, reckon is correct. I reckon you are correct, Daniela. Wonderful job. All right, well, folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll take a look at many more comments. We've got our Say What soundbite. We've got our spelling bee. Man, we've got a lot of exciting things to do today. And we're going to have a bloody good time. You get it? Bloody Halloween? All right. Folks, we'll be right back. So, stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. It's part 2 of today's show with no name, our special Halloween edition. That's right, folks. Today's show is so good, it's scary. Que da miedo. It's bloody good, folks. Welcome back. And don't forget to listen to all our programs here on Vaughn Radio. You've got amazing programs all day long. Start your day with a Pro Bow show with Rob Grams. After that, you've got Richard Vaughn Live. You got Fitz and No Excuses. Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. The Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Speak Up with Ruby. The Salad with Dave Boys. And so many more programs here on Vaughn Radio, ladies and gentlemen. And do you know all about our initiative with Oxford English? ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, folks. Find out more at our website, grupovaughn.com, or you can follow us on social media. Folks, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? 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 Huh? The fuck? ¿Te sabes esa? The fuck? Que no es what the fuck, es the fuck? The fuck se escribe. The fuck is going on? Porque te comes el what. The fuck is this guy talking about? O sea, te han dicho toda la vida que es WTF, ¿no? Pero realmente es DF. The fuck? The fuck is going on here? como te digo, una cosa en inglés es lo que pone en el papel y otra cosa es lo que sale de nuestra boca. No tiene nada que ver. Well, think about you guys, too. I've never heard anybody in Madrid say, hasta luego. I've always heard, ta luego. So we aren't the only ones guilty of swallowing a few syllables. My amigos in Almeria, where you at? Where you at? Almeria in the house. Almeria in the house. I love you. Hey, that is my home away from home. Been going there since I was a little kid. All right, amigos, are you ready for today's Say What soundbite? All right, everybody grab a pen, grab a notebook, and jot down as much as you possibly can. You're going to hear it 4 times, and I want you to give me everything. But first, I just want you to give me your take on what you heard. Here it is for the first time.
Yes, I live vicariously through you, remember? My life sucks. Now come on, give her the wacky, kiki, sneaky between the cheeky.
Oh,
This way I can imagine I did it, and then I can get through another weekend.
All right. Oh, my goodness. That sounds quite strange, doesn't it? If I may say so myself, si lo digo yo, if I may say so myself, it sounds a bit strange there. Well, we hear all kinds of things here on this section. All right, well, let's hear it again, and then we will discuss what you guys heard in your best English. All right, here it is, the Say What soundbite for the second time.
Yes, I live vicariously through you, remember? My life sucks. Now come on, give her the wacky, kiki, sneaky between the cheeky.
oh.
This way I can imagine I did it, and then I can get through another weekend.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And before I forget, since it's Halloween, I think it's a perfect day to listen to the Halloween episodes of FYI. If scary, spooky things satisfy you, such as black cats, bats in the belfry, witches and wizards, then today's show is right up your alley. We've got ghosts, ghouls, and goblins galore. Trick or treat! You're in for a truly tantalizing treat on the Halloween episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. There you go, folks. That's right. You got 2 episodes on Halloween where we look at traditions, idiomatic expressions, and all that jazz. I just shared the links with you to make it easier. So if you're in our group over here, you can just click on the link to the episode, the FYI episode on Halloween, and the bonus episode. And speaking of our speaking of our chat room, let's see who's on board over here. And let's see what you guys had to say about the Say What soundbite. Also, we got Chris Valrol in the house, participating in the pop quiz. What's up, Chris? Great to have you on board, as always. Chris says, tomorrow I'm pulling my socks up to be able to get to this train station in time. Great. To pull your socks up. Great. Number 2. I'm getting goosebumps when I think about tomorrow's night. En vez de tomorrow's night, es sin el apóstrofe ese. Tomorrow night or tomorrow night's trivia. Si quieres poner un sajón. But great job. To get goosebumps. And Chris says, I forgot the other one. Well, I bet you weren't paying attention. You were doing something else. Oh, no, I'm just using an example. Más nativo que I guess, I suppose, I reckon, I bet. Apuesto, we say. Yeah, nobody gave us that one, but that one was in the book, Conversaciones en Inglés. So I bet. Let me give it to you in context. The mother says, oh, there's no need to be modest. You know, the head of your school used to call every week, concerned about your progress. And I haven't heard from her for weeks. I bet she's delighted with you too. And in that case, I bet is supongo. Also, if we say you bet, you know what that means? So if you say, Alberto, do you want to go bobbing for apples? Esto es pescar manzanas. It's a typical Halloween thing. Well, if I answer you bet, that means claro que sí, claro que sí. So you can bet on it. We use this word bet pretty often. Wonderful job in the pop quiz, amigos. Great. Let's see. We've got Kubla participating in the Say What soundbite. And he says it's a sly, astuta. We say the same thing as you guys. Sly as a fox, right? So it's a sly. Oh, y de hecho, Sly también es el apodo de Sylvester. O sea, Sly Stallone se llama. Muchas veces verás en la prensa que pone Sly Stallone just bought a new house. In Spanish, la traducción, Sylvester Stallone. Tiene 8 sílabas más en español. Su nombre. All right. So it's a sly. Actually, it just made me think of something. This morning, I told my wife, oh, honey, Bruce Springsteen is coming to Madrid, coming to Spain next summer. And she says, who? Bruce Springsteen? And I'm like, oh, yeah, claro, perdona. Bruce Springsteen is coming. We had a little laugh about the way his name is pronounced. The trick, el truco, ¿quieres pronunciar este nombre como un guiri de una vez por todas? Di the boss, y se acabó. Su apodo. No, if you say Bruce, ¿con qué acaba? ¿Con qué sonido? No digo letra, sonido. Bruce, con S. ¿Y con qué empieza Springsteen? Con S. Ok, vamos a unir esas dos S y nos salvamos una pausa por medio. Bruce Springsteen. Bruce, si lo extiendes un poco, Bruce Springsteen. Y puedes eliminar 4 sílabas ahí. Bruce Springsteen. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, amigos. So, a sly, sweet-talking American man, not very content with his life, yet he confides he can swindle somebody, so estafar o engañar a alguien, and get to the following Monday. All right, interesting. I like that you heard something about swindling in there. All right, but very good, Kubla. You got a lot of it. Great job. A wonderful job. So, yes, sly, sweet-talking. The guy's got an accent, too, right? You hear some kind of accent over there? So, let's see. Kubla says, is she from Almeria? I don't know who she is. Sorry. I don't know which she you're referring to because my mind is like 3 steps ahead. I'm thinking of the next section already. So, but yeah, why not? Why not? All right. Anybody else want to participate? All right. Nope. Going once. Going twice. If not, you know, we got to go into today's spelling bee. Oh, is Diana from Almeria? Nope. She's from Madrid. Leo. Leo says, it sounds like a scene from a movie in which one of the characters, te falta una S ahí, Leo, in which one of the characters is telling the other if he remembers how bad his life was when he lived next to a beautiful neighbor's house. Seeing her made him survive every week. I have understood that, or I have wanted to understand it. Well, Leo, you are a sleuth. ¿Qué? Me encanta esta palabra. Sleuth. ¿Me estás llamando sleuth a mí? Yeah, man, you're a sleuth. ¿Y qué es sleuth? Detective. Pero suena como insulto, ¿no? Oh, man, Leo, you know Leo? He's a sleuth. Se escribe sleuth. Sleuth. So yeah, Leo, you are pretty, spot on there, buddy. Wow. Chris Valrol says, I guess the audio is from an American movie, and who better to know that than our movie queen? She says the character is talking to a friend how his life stinks. And I heard some words related to a sexual thing. Chris. Wow. Impressive. Very impressive. You guys, wow. Great ear over there, folks. Anybody else? Well, we're going to put your ear to the test now in today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, amigos. All right, it is our Spelling Bee here on the show with no name, and hopefully you guys will be able to figure out these words. I think they're easier than usual because sometimes we get really difficult, especially when we're looking at dams, like Chinese dams, presas chinas. You can't get harder than that. Está lleno de X, Y, A, E. So it can get very confusing. I think this one is going to be easy enough for everybody. This is round one of today's Spelling Bee. The first word is Caudron. The second one is JACK-O apostrophe dash LANTERN. The third one is GRIM space REAPER. The fourth one, CREEPY space CRAWLY. The fifth one is BLOODCURDLING. And the sixth and final one is GRAVESTONE. Whoa. Let's see if anybody's able to get that one on the first go. I went really fast, but the words are easier than usual. And I'm giving you a little clue with that background information. So maybe these have something to do with Halloween. Oh, wait, another thing that reminds me of Halloween, a city where it's always Halloween, New Orleans, baby. Whether you're popping by to see and be seen at one of its popping parties, or just to be a part of its plentiful parades, this popular place has got something special in store for all types of people. We're going to let the good times roll as we stroll around none other than nonstop New Orleans on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to That's right, folks. New Orleans, man, or Nolans, as they say. What a great place. I can't wait to go back. But it's a place where there's voodoo. I mean, you can go there any day of the year and you'll feel like it's Halloween. There are parades. Like when people die there, you can listen to the episodes. I just shared the links. They're both available. They have a parade in the street and they're all dressed up like skeleton. It is insane. It's absolutely insane. And it's probably one of my favorite cities in the world. It's New Orleans. And if you want to discover it, I just shared the links of the New Orleans episodes of FYI. Let's take a look over here at our Spelling Bee. And it looks like we might have some winners. Let's see. The first person to take a stab at it is Kubla. And Kubla, the first word is correct. The second word is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is also correct. The fifth one's correct. And the sixth one? Oh, man. Oh, no. Is also correct. Wonderful job there, Kubla. Also, it looks like Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol also got them. Yeah. All right, all right. Well, these are all Halloween words, and I tried to go with words that I didn't think everybody would know. Because if I say ghost, witch, I think you guys know that one, right? Ghost, witch. So I decided to go with lesser known words, or at least words that I felt were lesser known to non-natives. All right, so let me give you the list again. And what I'm going to do is be nice. Me voy a portar. All right. The first word is CAULDRON. The second word is JACK dash. ¿Se puede decir dash o hyphen? La que me sale del momento. O apostrophe dash. Ya es rarísimo, pero es así. LANTERN. The third word is GRIM space REAPER. The fourth word is CREEPY space CRAWLY. The fifth word is BLOODCURDLING. And the last word, GRAVESTONE. Oh, man, is anybody getting freaked out right now? Right? Man, this is freaking me out. Me está asustando. Also, to freak out is perder los estribos. Oh, man, when he found out you stole his car, he freaked out. No, se perdió la cabeza. But also, if you say la estructura, lo que sea. So snakes freak me out, or they creep me out. And that's one of the words we looked at here in our spelling bee. So, in fact, it's my favorite word. It was the fourth word, and it's a fun word to say. Say it with me. Creepy crawly. Creepy crawly. And here we can learn two different words, because to creep is to move slowly. Moverse sigilosamente. No como asustar a alguien. Oh, man, you crept. Es creep, crept. Como la canción de Radiohead, ¿no? So, oh, man, you crept up on me. Te acercaste. It's very Halloween, esta frase. So Halloween's a creepy holiday, but you crept up on me. Y lo decimos con fechas también. Oh, my God, tomorrow's Christmas? It really crept up on me. Se me acercó lentamente y se me sorprendió. No, es eso, that idea of creep. So creepy, and also creepy is, que da repelús. A creepy guy in a discoteca is the guy like, hey, lady, what's your sign? What's your horoscope? And you're like, get the fuck away from me. You creep. You creep. But that's not a creepy crawly. So a creepy crawly is an insect. Un bicho. Why? Because they're creepy. They creep people out, normally, bugs, right? And they crawl. Se mueven por el suelo. Se gatean, se rastrean. So creepy crawly is an insect. It's another way of saying bichos. Oh, man, I hate creepy crawlies. ¿Te sabías la palabra? Es buenísima. Creepy crawly. And also we use the word creepy crawly I have a creepy, crawly sensation, and this is more like cosquilleo, right? Like think about it, como se te sienta la piel. Your skin feels like it's creepy, crawly. The first word was the word cauldron. ¿Y cómo se dice esto en español? Pues voy a aprender ahora mismo. Caldera. Oh, claro. Caldera de la... Ajá. Claro, parece una... Okay. See how everything makes sense when you start to think about it? But in English, we call that a hot water heater. No, una caldera para calentar el agua is a hot water heater, or a boiler que hierve el agua, right? But cauldron is the one a witch uses. So the witch was stirring her potion, su pócima, in the cauldron. Folks, we've got to take a quick commercial break. I can't believe it. It just crept up on me. ¿Qué te dije? Hay que usar las cosas en su contexto real. That commercial break just crept up on me. Me pilló por sorpresa. Well, I hope you'll join us in the second half of today's show. We're going to look at creepy crawlies and many other Halloween things. As I said before, we're going to have a bloody good time, mates. So stick with us, because you're in for a treat. Mira, trick or treat, ¿no? You're in for a treat. Os espera una sorpresa after this quick commercial break. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the second half of today's show with no name. We are having tons of fun here on this Halloween. And don't forget, folks, if you want to keep celebrating Halloween, I will be hosting Vaughn Radio Trivia Night this coming Wednesday, November 1st. Wednesday, November 1st at Roll Madrid. Tons of fun indeed. And the following day, you've got a stand-up comedy show with our friends from Crack Comedy in Madrid. You can catch a show Thursday, November 2nd at 8:30 p.m. as well. So November 1st, Vaughn Radio Trivia Night with me. November 2nd, the next day, Thursday at 8:30 p.m., same time, different place. You can catch a stand-up comedy night with comics from New York and LA in the house. That's at 8:30 p.m. at Bar Picnic, Calle Minas, Número 1, Malasaña. Bad lasagna. All right. Bad joke. That's why I'm hosting the trivia night and not Crack Comedy. You guys already know about my jokes. You know all about my jokes. Well, a lot of times, you know where I get my jokes from? Well, a little section we call Homophones on the Show with No Name. Homophones on the Show with No Name.
It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And of course, they're going to be Halloween themed. Hey, why not? I love Halloween. My neighbor said it to me the other day. She said, "You really love Halloween, don't you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sick." She noticed. Well, my front door is like really, really decorated to the max. And I've got plans to scare the kids later. I've got a box that I put all this candy in, and I'm going to make a hole in the bottom, and I'm going to put my hand in the hole. You know, like Thing in the Addams Family? And when the kids go in to grab some candy, I'm going to grab their hand. My wife's like, "You are cruel." I'm like, "It's Halloween. You're supposed to do stuff like that." So, yeah. You can say I overdo it. Me paso tres pueblos. I love it, though. My neighbor's like, you really are into this, huh? I'm like, yeah, there's no turning back now. I love Halloween. I don't like scary things, but for some reason I have good memories of Halloween, you know? All right, the first word is something you'll find in ancient Egypt. It's also a movie. Mumia. It's an embalmed Egyptian body. Well, it doesn't have to be Egyptian, but a lot of times we think of Egyptians, right? I think of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do now. Scooby-Doo. All right, so an embalmed body, usually wrapped in bandages or things like that. So the word is momia. And the second word is mami. You say in Spanish, "Mami, ¿puedo ir al tal?" So en vez de decir mother, una forma cariñosa de decir madre. What are those two words? And do the two words sound exactly the same or not? And also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite for the third time. Please write down what you hear.
Yes, I live vicariously through you, remember? My life sucks. Now come on, give her the wacky kiki sneaky between the cheeky.
Oh.
This way I can imagine I did it, and then I can get through another weekend.
All right, there you go, folks. That's your Say What soundbite for the third time. You're going to hear it one more time, and hopefully somebody will be able to figure it out. All right, speaking of figuring it out, let's see how you guys did in the homophones section. Kubla says, "Did Lara help decorate?" Of course, of course. We do group activities here, and the whole time we're narrating. That's my trick with Lara. If you guys want to know my trick, I narrate everything. Okay, now I'm going to grab some tape, and I'm going to cut little pieces of tape because I don't want to put big pieces of tape on there. And then I'm going to put it on the edge. So I'm literally telling her aloud. And she's just like talking about taking notes. She's just there writing it all down, mentally speaking, right? All right, so let's see. Kubla, those are the correct words. And he says they don't sound the same, all right? Born to Iron Man participating, and he says they don't sound the same. They aren't homophones. Okay. So 2 for 2 there. Also, it looks like Kubla got today's Say What soundbite. Nice job. We'll take a look at it a little bit later on in the show. As I said, you're in for a treat. Apúntate esa estructura, ya que hoy trick or treat. Te espera una sorpresa. No es muy frase hecha. You're in for a treat today. All right, anybody else? So just Kubla and Born to Iron Man are the only ones who want to take a stab at it. Interesting. There are more people here, but only 2 people are daring enough Atrevidos. Chris says they are not homophones. Well, what if I told you guys that you are wrong and right? Yeah. You weren't expecting that, were you? And that wasn't the surprise that I have in store to trick you. That wasn't the surprise I was talking about. The treat, right? So you guys are wrong if you're British, and you're right if you're American. So you decide. So the Egyptian thing, okay? The embalmed body. That's called a mummy. 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 M-U-M-M-Y. Mummy. Okay? So, mummy. Now, the British say, my mummy. They don't say it with an O. Bueno, la O que suena como una A. Ahora lo vemos en americano. So, in British English, my mummy said that she wants me to dress up as a mummy. Mi madre, mi mami, me dijo que de hecho se escribe igual. So, same word really. My mum. You could say my mum or my mummy, but again, that's very, very British there. My mum or my mummy. Now, in American English, es con una O. And here it's my mom. Suena como una A, ¿eh? My mom or my mommy. Más fácil para vosotros, yo creo, pero es más parecido a mommy. Right? So, yes, they are homophones in England. But in the United States, they are not homophones. So bear that in mind. The good news about today's homophones, guys, that anybody and everybody could have been right. Todos, es que no había forma de fallar hoy. All right, let's also take a look at the remaining words in our spelling bee. Yeah. All right. The one that I said before was cauldron. We already looked at that one, so we can check it off the list. We've got jack-o'-lantern. And this is very interesting because every time I say this, it throws people off. Desconcierta la gente. So the neighbors, they said, oh yeah, habéis hecho los pumpkins. And I'm like, no. Me gusta tus pumpkins, me dice. I'm like, they're not pumpkins. Nope. No. They were pumpkins before I took a knife to them and I carved them, que es la actividad. So if you carve pumpkins, you're making jack-o'-lanterns. If you carve a pumpkin. And I think here at my house, we're on our 7th pumpkin carved. So we have 7 jack-o'-lanterns. In fact, one of them already was rotten because we did it at the beginning of the month. So a jack-o'-lantern, it's when you take a pumpkin, you hollow it out, hacerlo hueco, and you carve it up and you put a light in there. I recommend you don't use fire. I recommend you guys use those little, battery ones. They're a lot better. So, jack-o'-lantern. The third one is Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper. You know this one? La muerte. La paca, you say? La paca. I know in my dad's village, there's la paca, la paqui, right? So, all right, to reap is sembrar. You reap what you sow. Recoge, reap es recoger. You reap what you sow. Recoges lo que siembras. So the Grim Reaper es el recogedor. Oscuro, grim. If something is grim, it doesn't look good, right? What did the doctor say? Oh, it looks grim. Desalentador, nefasto, grim, sombrio, right? No, serio, ceñudo. In English, another way to say it is somber, grim. The Grim Reaper. There's a really cool song by the group Blue Oyster Cult. And it goes, don't fear the Reaper, don't fear the Reaper. And also at one time, one of the most famous spiciest peppers in the world. I don't know if it still holds the title for spiciest pepper in the world, but at one time, the Carolina Reaper was one of the spiciest chilies in the world. O sea, la muerte de Carolina. The fourth one we just looked at before, the creepy crawlies. I love that word. It's a fun word. The fifth word is blood curdling. That is an example of a blood curdling scream. And let me look up the word because I don't know it. Espeluznante, aterrador, que hiela la sangre, perdona. And to curdle, ya que estamos, blood no es blood, it's blood. To curdle is leche que se cuaja, se corta. So it makes your blood curdle would be a way of saying it scares the shit out of you. It's blood curdling. He let out a blood curdling scream. And that right there is the Wilhelm scream. And the last one is gravestone. Esta palabra es bastante lógica. Your grave is la tumba, and the stone es una piedra. So, la lápida, I think you say. The gravestone. And I always thought that was a cool double trouble. He had a grave problem when he went to the grave. La primera es fácil. Tuve un problema grave. Igual, right? He had a grave problem when he went to the grave. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can also say Tombstone, que es un pueblo in Arizona. Tombstone, Arizona. All right, amigos. And in fact, I think, isn't there what movie? There's a movie that takes place, a couple movies, Western movies. There might even be a movie. Chris, where are you? Isn't there a movie called Tombstone with Val Kilmer? Well, there you go. Tombstone or Gravestone. And speaking of movies, I think you know what time it is. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Name That Movie, only on the Show with No Name. And here we go with today's Name That Movie. If you guys recognize it, you can tell me. If not, you'll learn English from it nonetheless. No obstante. All right, here we go. Let me take a deep breath, get into character, and put on my eerie voice. A businessman and his friends are captured by a sadistic judge and his equally odd family in a bizarre mansion in the backwoods. So a businessman, un empresario, and his friends y sus colegas are captured by a sadistic judge, un juez sadístico, loco, retorcido, and his equally odd family. Odd is raros. It's the same as weird or strange. We looked at the word stranger, right? So, his equally odd family. Y cuidado, no es odd. Aunque es una O, se pronuncia como una A. Odd. That's odd. Qué raro. His equally odd family in a bizarre, otra forma de decir raro, mansion in the backwoods. In East Bumblefuck. ¿Te sabes esa? If somebody lives in Bumblefuck or East Bumblefuck, es perdido. No, que vives en medio de la nada. I live in Bumblefuck or in East Bumblefuck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some winners over here. Give it up for your classmates, Kubla and Chris. The movie's called Nuttin' But Trouble. Yeah, muchas veces, en vez de nothing, we say nuttin'. What do you want? Nuttin'. Como nueces? Nuttin'. Nuttin' but trouble. Nothing but trouble. It is an awesome movie. Well, I think it is, but it's like, it wasn't, critics didn't like it, but I remember liking it, maybe because I liked the cast, el reparto, possibly. And the cast is awesome. It's Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, the late John. Es un buen nombre para hoy, ¿no? Candy, caramelo, Halloween, and Demi Moore, right? And it's called, seguro que en español lo habéis cambiado el nombre, but it's also directed by Dan Aykroyd as well. And it came out in 1991. It's called Nothing But Trouble. And it's based on Dan Aykroyd's personal experiences. In the year 1978, he was pulled over for speeding. Now, to be pulled over es que te pare la policía. And to speed is ir con exceso de velocidad. Speed, sped. He sped at the red light when he should have slowed down, right? It's one of those weird, irregular verbs, bizarre. So he gets pulled over for speeding in a rural town in northeastern United States. The police officer took him to the local justice of the peace, el juicio de la paz. You say the same thing, no? Where people go and get married sometimes. In the middle of the night for a trial. And I've heard this, guys. I've heard in certain jurisdictions in the United States, like if they have a problem with you and you're in the middle of nowhere, you can't leave until you have a trial. Like if you get a ticket and you're like, I disagree. You like have to stay in that town. And there have been a lot of horror stories like that. Now, another horror story was what was happening behind the scenes. It was a complete quagmire. A quagmire, un pifostio, I think you would say. Chevy Chase, who is known to be a prima donna, he did not like the script. The script is kind of bad, I've got to say. But he took the lead role because he wanted to work with Dan Aykroyd. I mean, who doesn't want to work with the one and only Dan Aykroyd, you know? And he thought that, him and Dan Aykroyd could improvise a lot of scenes and, it would turn out, to seem at least a little fresher than the script. And what happened was that it was a total flop. Un fracaso total. It was a total flop. And the buck stopped at Dan Aykroyd. La responsabilidad, la carga cayó en él. The buck stopped there, es como se dice. Ya no se podía pasarlo a otra persona. Because he was the director, writer, actor, and producer. So it's an interesting thing to think about. Dan Aykroyd, Ghostbusters, Blues Brothers. He's also had some career flops. But did he give up? Nope, not at all. Not at all. Dan Aykroyd. Gotta love Dan Aykroyd, but not Chevy Chase, man. And, everybody enjoyed working with each other except Chevy Chase. They said that he was verbally abusive to everybody on the set, in plateau. He was also pissed off that Dan Aykroyd had a bigger paycheck, nomina, but also Dan Aykroyd had 5 jobs, right? And everybody else, because there was like a rift between the two, right? Una división. And everybody sided with Dan Aykroyd. They said that that Chevy Chase was absolutely unruly. And the word unruly means imposible de tratar. Unruly. It sounds like a little kid who's acting up on a plane. Oh, my God. Or a passenger. Unruly is the word. No, sin ley. Piénsalo así. All right, let's take a look at the scene from the movie. Chris says, Alvin, I was just thinking, you've got enough vintage steel. No es vintage in English. It's vintage. Enough vintage steel, acero, to make a few thousand Toyotas. Unos miles de Toyotas. Ever think of selling the whole place to the Japanese? ¿Has pensado alguna vez en venderlo todo a los japoneses? And then JP says, There you go. Y ahí vamos otra vez. Ya estamos de nuevo. There you go. Does the Pope wear a hat? Y la expresión que tenemos en inglés es, does the Pope wear a funny hat? Es claro que sí. Pues sin duda. No, el Papa lleva un gorro gracioso. And then he says, I don't know this one, but was Sergeant York's mother an angel? And will a banker grope for money? Now that one he's saying in context. And to grope, okay, to grope is toquetear, meter mano. Okay? So to grope, good word to know. I wouldn't do it though. It's illegal to grope somebody. But the other one that comes to mind, cuando queremos decir, pues hombre, claro que sí. Does the Pope wear a funny hat? Y la otra es, does a bear shit in the woods? ¿Un oso caga en el bosque? Pues claro que sí, hombre. So then Chris Thorne says, well, I'm not a banker. I'm a financial publisher. No financial, financial publisher. And JP says, well, all I know is in the year 17, after they shipped me off to fight, to ship off is mandar, to ship somebody off to fight, some New York financier rolled in here one day, entró aquí en un día, and tubwankled my grandfather. And tubwankled we don't really use very much. Hoodwinked, es otras palabras, es engañar. Hoodwinked my grandfather into mining out the whole town, minar todo el pueblo, in exchange for shares, acciones, in something called the United Coke Company. Do you know what those stock certificates are worth today? ¿Tú sabes cuánto cuestan estos certificados de acciones hoy? And JP says, well, just about the finest outhouse wallpaper you've ever seen. Now, wallpaper es papel pintado que se pone en la pared. And the finest es el mejor que has visto en la vida. And an outhouse es un baño de estos donde la gente cagaba afuera. Before there was plumbing, había como una caseta. That's called an outhouse. So just about the finest outhouse wallpaper you've ever seen. O sea, no valen nada. He says, we were forced to become what you drove through today. A nosotros nos forzaron, nos obligaron a convertirnos en lo donde tú has conducido hoy. A burnt-out coal field, un campo de carbón quemado, que ya no queda nada. And the biggest icebox graveyard this side of Ohio. And that's why I never let a banker go. So it seems like the judge has a personal vendetta against bankers. Folks, you know what the music means. We've got to go to a quick commercial break. The good news. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. I can't believe it, amigos. It's true what they say. Time flies when you're having fun. And I hope you're having tons of fun. I hope you're having a scream. Yeah, a scream. You're a scream. Me lo paso bien contigo. Lo conoces de The Addams Family. They really are a scream. Fíjate. Their house is a museum where people come to see them. They really are a scream. Añaden una sílaba, porque sería scream. So, te lo repito. Their house is a museum where people come to see them. They really are a scream. The Addams Family. Do-do-do-do. Snap, snap. Do-do-do-do. Snap, snap. Folks, welcome back to the Halloween edition of The Show with No Name. Coming to you live from Transylvania. All right, amigos. Come on in. Come on in to our Halloween party, where we're having tons of fun and learning English to boot. Además, to boot. We've got tons of challenges up ahead. So let's start off with today's triple trouble.
Double trouble, baby.
No, triple.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up.
Triple. Trouble, trouble.
I said
Triple. Triple trouble. Triple. Triple trouble. I said triple. Triple trouble. All right, here we go with today's triple trouble, my amigos. Yeah, that means you have to use the same word 3 times. The good thing, I tried to give you a lot of clues today. We looked at this word in depth. We even looked at the conjugation. So I expect all of you to at least take a stab at it. Here we go. Ese asqueroso o repelente está empezando a acercarse sigilosamente, ¿no? A escondidas, para sorprendernos. We looked at it. Right? So, ese asqueroso repelente está empezando a acercarse sigilosamente a nosotros. Me da repelús, o yuyu, you say. I love that word, yuyu. I guess it's a yo-yo's cousin? All right. So, ese asqueroso barra repelente está empezando a acercarse sigilosamente a nosotros. Me da repelús. Me da repelús o yuyu. And folks, here is your Say What soundbite. This is the 4th and final listen.
Yes, I live vicariously through you, remember? My life sucks. Now come on, give her the wacky, kiki, sneaky between the cheeky.
Oh,
This way I can imagine I did it, and then I can get through another weekend.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and the word sneak is similar to the word we're looking at here, too. Interesting. It's all linked in some way. All right, let's see. Kubla taking a stab at the triple trouble. And he says, okay, so it's ese asqueroso está empezando a acercarse sigilosamente a nosotros. Me da repelús, yuyu. So, that creep is beginning to creep up. Okay, nos falta el nosotros. Lo he puesto a posta para saber si sabéis usarlo en contexto. So that was done on purpose. So it's right, but not 100%. So do you know the preposition is the question. But let's see the rest. So that creep is beginning to creep up. And how would you put a nosotros there? It gives me the creeps. Excellent job there, Kubla. And in this case, You can say both. You can say, it gives me the creeps, the situation. It gives me the creeps. It's creeping me out. Es otra forma de decirlo, right? Or he's giving me the creeps. O sea, es él o la situación me está dando mal rollo, repelús. It's giving me the creeps. It's creeping me out. Okay? So, good job. Does anybody know, though, how to say? Si quieres decir, no te me acercas tan rápido, tan sigilosamente. Remember, I used it before. I said, se me acercó la fecha sin darme cuenta. I used the structure. Let's see. Chris says, that creep is beginning to creep up to us. It gives me the creeps. Yeah. You can say that. To creep up to us. Great. And remember, it's an irregular verb. Creep, crept, crept. Leonardo. Ooh, Leonardo, that's the one I was looking for. Nice job. That creepy, ahí tendrías que decir that creepy guy or that creep, porque creepy es adjetivo. That creep is creeping up on us. Y esa es la que yo hubiese dicho, la que tengo escrito. To creep up on. Raro, por eso quería destacarlo. Oh, man, your birthday crept up on me. Sería la estructura, ¿no? Se me acercó y ni me di cuenta. So, Leo, you nailed it there. Great job to all of you who participated. So you can say it scares the shit out of me, or it really scares me, or you can say it gives me the creeps, or it creeps me out. All right, amigos, great job learning while we play with our Halloween vocabulary today. All right, we looked at our triple trouble. We did the say what sound bites. So it's time for your favorite section. You're joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it?
That's right, amigos. You're joking only on the show with no name. And of course, these are going to be some Halloween themed jokes over here. So let's see if you guys get these jokes or not. Here's the first one for you. What kind of monster loves to go to the club? La discoteca. What kind of monster loves to go to the club? Easy. The boogeyman. The boogeyman. What monster likes to go to the club? ¿Qué monstruo le gusta ir a la discoteca? The boogeyman. Well, I guess you should know the boogeyman, or as the British, so the Americans say the boogeyman, and the British say the bogeyman. ¿Ves? No estamos de acuerdo en nada aquí, right? So the boogeyman es el hombre del saco, el viejo de la bolsa, ¿no? Esa fuente, el coco, el cuco, la amenaza, right? So the monster that's used to threaten children. If you don't eat your vegetables, the boogeyman is going to come get you, right? But also to boogie is to dance. Boogie nights, dun 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 dun. Boogie nights, right? Noches de bailar. To boogie. You want to boogie? You want to get down? You want to dance? Well, what better day than Halloween? You can boogie with the boogeyman. Y de hecho es una canción. I'm your boogeyman, and I'm here to do whatever I can. Your boogeyman, your boogeyman. Just remember, if you're British, you don't say boogeyman, you say bogeyman. Y solo lleva una O. All right, I got another one for you since you love that one so much. Why didn't the scarecrow eat dinner? Okay, you can say eat dinner or have dinner. Why didn't the scarecrow have dinner? And scarecrow makes sense. Espantapájaros. Nosotros decimos espantacuervos. Scarecrow. So why didn't the scarecrow eat dinner? He was stuffed. No, he was stuffed. Estaba lleno, estaba relleno. Yeah, he was stuffed with hay. But also, if you tell somebody, oh man, I'm stuffed, no puedo comer más. Estoy a tope, estoy lleno. Pero también es relleno. Oh, and with Thanksgiving coming up, do you know what we stuff a turkey with? Stuffing. And what is stuffing made of? Lots of different stuff. So I love when we play with words and they make sense, because then you don't just understand the word stuff, but then you really get it. And then you'll know the word stocking stuffer that we look at Christmas time. And the stockings son los calcetines que colgamos, the ones we hang on the fireplace. And stocking stuffers son regalitos pequeños que podemos regalar, que caben que están para rellenar los stockings, los calcetines. So, again, from that one word stuff, we can get a lot of stuff out of it. All right, how do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? And it happens sometimes. If you make the incision too close to the other incision, you could break it, right? So, how do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? Easy. With a pumpkin patch. With a pumpkin patch? No. Well, all right. I guess I should explain that. Well, do you know Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin Patch? If you haven't seen Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin Patch, you're missing out on one of the greatest classic Halloween tales ever. Charlie Brown, Peanuts, the Peanuts gang. So it's called Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin Patch. A pumpkin patch is a field where pumpkins grow. A pumpkin patch, it's called. But also a patch is something you can put on a tire if you get a flat tire on your bike, right? Or your raft. Si tienes la colchoneta en el verano and you pop a hole in it, you can get a patch and you can patch it up. Parche. How do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? With a pumpkin patch? Okay, last one. Why is a cemetery a great place to write a story? Why is a cemetery a great place to write a story? Because there are so many plots there. No. Because there are so many plots there? A story? Well, the plot is the argumento, trama. What's the plot? Well, it's about Charlie Brown, and he wants to go find this pumpkin, and he stays in the pumpkin patch. That's the story, right? If you had the synopsis, like we do in Name That Movie, that's the plot or the plot line. But also, a plot is solar, terreno, o parcela. So that's what you need when you bury somebody. He has a plot next to his wife. Tienen dos solares, tienen dos, solares, donde les van a enterrar. So in a cemetery, we talk about a plot as well. So you get it now? Why is a cemetery a great place to write a story? Because there are so many plots there. Also, a nice round of applause for Chris Valrol. She got today's Say What soundbite, which we're going to take a look at in just a moment. But right now, it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. This person was born in 1961, an Irish musician, singer, songwriter, and actor. He is best known as the drummer and co-founder of the rock band U2. You say U2, we say U2, the drummer. Any U2 fans in the house? One life, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other. Number 2, an American actor who was born today in 1950, and his last name is Caramelo. What an appropriate day to be born. Your name is Caramelo y naces in Halloween. Wow. And he was a big, burly, to not say obese actor who was in some of my favorite movies. Splash, Uncle Buck, The Blues Brothers. We were talking about Dan Aykroyd before. National Lampoon's Vacation, Little Shop of Horrors, Home Alone. I mean, this guy was in everything. And he was Canadian. I thought he was from the States, but no, Canadian. And last but not least, this guy's an American actor and comedian born today in 1963. He got famous on Saturday Night Live, but then he made some subsequent films. I love them. I'm a big fan. I follow this guy on social media. Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, The Animal, The Hot Chick, The Benchwarmers, and many others. So those are your 3 famous birthdays over there. Oh, and this guy works with Adam Sandler a lot because they were together on SNL. All right, so there you go, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Valrol. Number 1, Larry Mullen from U2. Number 2, Juanito Caramelo, John Candy. And number 3, Rob Schneider. And this is Rob Schneider in today's Say What soundbite. This is him in the movie 50 First Dates, also with Adam Sandler. And he says to Adam's character, yes, I live vicariously through you, remember? Vivo a través de tus ojos. I live vicariously through you. You remember? My life sucks. Mi vida es lo peor. Come on, give her the wacky kiki sneaky between the cheeky. Wacky kiki porque están en Hawaii. And sneaky es sigilosamente between the cheekies, los mofletes, pero los del culo, ahí paro. You can figure it out on your own. This way I can imagine I did it and get through another weekend. Here he is, Rob Schneider.
Yes, I live vicariously through you, remember? My life sucks. Now come on, give her the sneaky between the cheeky. This way I can imagine I did it, and then I can get through another weekend.
All right, amigos, and we're going to give you that surprise, that treat I had for you. This is one of the scariest things I've ever heard. It used to give me nightmares as a kid. It's called the Golden Arm.
Once there was a man who was married to a lady called Elvira. And Elvira had a golden arm. It was solid, shining gold. It ran from her shoulder right down to her fingers. Elvira was very proud of her golden arm, so proud that before she went to sleep at night, she would say to her husband, "If I happen to die, promise me you'll bury me with my golden arm." And he always said he would. Night after night she would ask him, and night after night he would promise. And one night, Elvira died. And the husband buried her just as he had promised, with her golden arm. And life went on for the husband. He was lonely, naturally. He had his work on the farm, he had his friends, but things weren't the same. He couldn't seem to pay attention to his work, and things went from bad to worse. And little by little, he sold the farm animals, then the carts, then the barn. And lying in bed one night, he began to think about Elvira and her golden arm. He thought about what he could do with all that gold. And it seemed a shame that Elvira's arm was buried deep in the ground. And the more he thought, the more he had to have that arm. But he had promised Elvira, and yet he needed the gold in her golden arm. At midnight, he got out of bed, dressed in his warmest clothes because it was bitter cold outside. He took his lantern and a shovel. There was no moon, and he walked in the black night to Elvira's grave, the lantern shining on the road in front of him, making shadows that half scared the man to death. And if he didn't want that golden arm so badly, he would have turned around and gone home, where it was safe and warm. He came to Elvira's grave. The ground was hard because of the cold, but he dug and he dug. The hole got deeper and deeper. The night became colder and colder. And he finally reached Elvira's coffin. He opened the coffin, reached in, and took the golden arm. He covered up the coffin and fixed the earth around the grave so that no one would know what had been done. It began to snow and hail, and the wind got louder and louder as the man started back for home with the golden arm under his coat. He lit a fire, warmed himself, and looked around for some place to hide the golden arm. The only place that was safe, he thought, was under the covers of his bed. He jumped into bed and tried to keep warm, but the golden arm was cold, very cold, and the man shivered and shook. He tried to sleep, but somehow he couldn't. He tried to close his eyes, but he was afraid to keep them shut. He didn't know why. Maybe it was the wind that was keeping him awake, because it got louder and louder, and then he heard a voice in the wind. It was calling, "Where is my golden arm?" Imagination, the man thought. It had to be because it couldn't be anything else. But he pulled the covers over his head. He didn't want to hear the sound, or was it a voice? What was it saying? Where is my golden arm? He got out of bed to make sure. He looked out towards the road. He could hardly see it from his window. It was so dark out. But the wind carried a voice saying, "Where is my golden arm?" He went to the door to listen, to be sure. And he heard it. "Where is my golden arm?" And he looked into the cellar, and the voice called to him, "Where is my golden arm?" And the man shook and shivered, and to be safe, he went back to bed. And he still heard the voice coming from all around him, from the windows, under the door, under the bed, from the closet. And it cried and called and howled, "Where is my golden arm?" And then He saw it. Where is my golden arm? At the foot of his bed. And it jumped right at him. You've got it. They say that whenever the wind howls late at night, that it's Elvira coming to find her golden arm. Do you have it?